All right. Hopefully we are live. I got a strange thing saying that I exceeded my quota, but where we are, second live stream of the day. Hopefully that's not a thing because, well, we've got stuff to work on here. We don't want to have a issue with quotas on a live stream. That would not be productive. So what are we going to do? We're going to hopefully attempt to finish chapter 1, right? So I am going to keep refreshing this to make sure that the live stream is going, but it's I can't verify it yet. I'm looking for it. Let's see if I can find it on my web. On my uneducated psychologist thing. Okay, are we live? Let's see. Okay, looks good. Spend the whole minute and a half dealing with that. Let's just move forward to where we were. I left off with Moto, but let me read to you a little bit. Start here. Through the face shield, Nina watched Andy dance on the dashboard, her funny-looking yellow and green skirt popping around a small hollow life tattoo visible across her hips. Nina focused on Andy's hips with a hypnotic glare, an added coconut bikini holding Andy's top together. Climate change shocked her as she melted in her car while watching Canada covered in snow, her holographic self transmitting sensory data back to her vertigo implant. Enough is enough, she thought, and changed the channel to her masseur subscription. The cap cage was all about getting a head massage, and the best part was the whole group setting centered around the one masseur doing his magic on a foam head, all while we watched him interact with it. You know what I found today? ASMR. Moto was a true modern artist. His ability to reach out and touch someone almost biblical. He had the spiritual component on lockdown. Laying virtual hands on people became a real source of healing. But let me... ASMR, meaning massage, right? Autonomous sensory meridian response. The autonomous sensory meridian response Nina felt was not a result of sights and sounds, but a true electromagnetic coupling, a result of her vertigo implant merged with the cap cage on her head. The funny thing was how the holographic clone in the car initiated the sequence, yet the real Nina felt results while standing in the security office building. So we're going to have her in the driver's seat. That's what I was going to do. So she pulled in front of a hardware store used to generate leads. Blah, blah, blah. A slight shimmer at the end of each property line. The lot was marked in small. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, so now we're in the store. Okay. Nina knew the agenda was real. Nina knew her agenda was real. And most salespeople knew it too. And most salespeople knew it too. In fact, not calling herself a salesperson at all, instead simply movement leader. Most leads came from first level boots on the ground, associates setting appointments in our favorite home improvement mega stores. The system worked and even customers made money if they referred a friend who joined the cause. Climate change transformed society into decentralized nodes of action to support the whole. Her major malfunction was how she felt. Looking into her mind, it was clear. A major malfunction was how she felt worthless when things did not go her way. But even worse, when she accidentally forgot Andy's birthday because of competing to be number one for the first time in her category group. Yeah. It was a super embarrassing situation, not the first time she forgot. Nina loved Andy, but could not square the circle of love. Square the circle of memory. Andy was a casino owner and got used to disappointment, but never got used to a chaotic home life. Shared with Nina. The funny thing was Nina always cared about what other people thought. And the drone pilot she worked with always knew what his own thoughts were. They did like to share love with others, but loyalty did become a sticking point. Is it possible? What am I doing? Did become a sticking point. Not sure what's happening. The funny thing was Nina always cared about what other people thought, and the drone pilot she worked with always knew what his own thoughts were. Even better, Nina knew what she wanted and was super wanty about it. As the drone pilot also knew what Nina wanted. So no conflict there. In fact, at the last company-wide meeting, the drone pilot had the company pay for catering who bought. With a side screen, Nina pulled up a memory log, a thought she indexed for just such an occasion. How do you spell occasion? No one was willing to. Oh, okay. That's okay. In fact, at the last company-wide meeting, the drone pilot had the company pay for catering who brought maple bacon ice cream per request. No one was willing to try it, but Jeff, the drone pilot, convinced Nina to give it a lick, and with total surprise, she fell in love. Nina became singularly focused to get everyone else in the company to try it with the promise they too would fall as she did. Jeff made the whole Priverse experience with the Cap Cave architecture work. His ability to truly multitask was the key to getting things done. Only problem was how connected Jeff really was. Too much, really. With the masseur, As Moto the Masseur did his thing, Nina began to recollect the memories of those around her. Hollow life clone. The ability to extend or duplicate her personality structure allowed for perceiving the thoughts of others. I spelled Masseur wrong. It's mass. Okay. Perceiving is right. As a child, Jeff discovered how prospecting precious metals using desert daggers to drop gold through the root system from deep underground was a viable option. Then deposit it as pure particles in the oily leaves and branches of the tree for later use. That was when Jeff discovered why revenge was real, that feeling to balance out the energy in the universe once his idea was stolen by a greedy adult. Okay. Not sure what that means, but back in her mind, Nina worried she was a bad person, so automatically she joined with the drone pilot who was clearly worried others felt he was an uncaring individual. Nina and Jeff were both worried about the same thing as well. Both worried if Nina was stupid. Funny how things worked out, since both were also critical about what they really wanted in life. Nina had a trickster inside her who had no idea of the concept of what the ice cream actually tasted like and only wanted to know what other people tasted. Jeff, the drone pilot, also was totally unaware he even had a trickster inside, and so really no idea why maple bacon ice cream was such a good idea in the first place. The best part was how Nina did not care if Jeff was a good person, as long as Nina was a good person and offered the best experience of that maple bacon ice cream to others. Jeff was not a moral person, and that was just fine for Nina, because she didn't care if others were moral as long as she was herself. There was one conflict, though, and that was Nina had more life experience, so actually she was smarter than Jeff, who thought himself an engineering master which somehow applied to everything in the universe, including morality. Nina loved to have Maya, the Priverse podcaster, always running in the background as a reminder to be humble, a silent, vibrating mnemonic since Maya could not initiate contact directly through the screen. The podcaster kept our Nina accurate as long as the comments section at the bottom of the interface remained active. The podcaster had the ability to reach virtually through the screen and give our Nina a hug to remind her she was a good person as Moto continued his super special ASMR. Maya the podcaster was super critical, which helped Nina grow, and in return, she confronted the podcaster to not worry about the future so much. Our Nina had no tolerance for disloyalty, and even though the podcaster had no reason to provide a guarantee, but sincerity was the podcaster's currency, and she needed to stay liquid. The podcaster kept our Nina altruistic and away from the evils of greed. The podcaster didn't care at all about the experience she gave. Her show all about how she wanted to portray the interview she had scheduled with Nina in the security office. She wanted to portray the in-person interview she had scheduled with Nina. Privately in the security office. Privately? Our Nina really was married to the local casino owner, Andy, the cook-off sponsor. And the funny thing was how loyal she was to her. Both of them primarily optimistic about life. She was able to teach. Andy was able to teach Nina some things about duty which she totally did not understand, such as comping patrons at the casino with meals and nights in the hotel. It took a lot for Nina to see how that goodwill paid off in the long run, and that realization made her feel like a bad person again. She was also afraid of what Andy also was afraid of what Nina might do because of how impulsive she was. Overall, she was safest with Andy, even if Nina did not feel the same way. Arnina and her boss, Kurt, helped each other to get out of their own built-in fears, but also led to bitterness and envy when sales numbers were low. Gosh, I'm just adding people. Do I have any gaps? No gaps. Well, that's still a lot going on there. Still a lot going on there. Kurt turned on his remote viewing application to watch what Nina saw. His security access greater than almost anyone in the company, anyone in SUNGUN. There was a real sense how hyperinflation valued energy production over all. The idea of fiat falling flat on its face value. Wow. Okay. Yeah. We don't want to overdo it, right? And with that, I must say, we're going to, all you SUNGUNNers, fade to black and out.